Hello, hi guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new. So on today's video, I'm gonna be doing version 2 of practical. Okay, not practical 2, but then practical 2 of the year 2022, but practical 3 of the year 2023, right? Which is this one over here. Right, so this one is a practical 3 of the year 2023. It's similar to practical 2 of the year 2021 or 2, somewhere there. So I've already done a practical. I have a video of it. Yeah, I do have a video of it. I have not yet posted it. But then, yeah, weighing my options on whether I should make a new video for that practical or not, because it is very long. Let's just check it out. This one over here, yeah, like it's 2 hours, so I'm still weighing my option on whether I should actually almost 3 hours, right? And the reason why it's so long is because I love to I love to start these things unprepared, right? I don't think it's a good thing or a bad thing, but like even now I'm doing this video, not as yet read about this practical, and I don't know what is required of it as yet. All I know is that we're going to be using file handling and what is it, regex, regular expressions. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna be focusing on in this video, the file handling and the regex thingy over there. So let's just go through this slide, right? And then you'll see that we have exceptions in the beginning here, and then you'll read on like what exception is, what kind of exceptions do we have, and where to apply them, and how to actually code them. There's different ways you can use exceptions. And then yeah, that is not a big deal. And then we also have assertions, and then you'll have to know these two, actually the difference between these two, assertions and exceptions. Anyway, then we go to the file handling, right? This will give us the ability to open, read, and write to open, read, write, and close the file, right? So yeah, file as a class we're gonna be using. You'll see later on during the code. And then we have writing to file, in this case the txt file, right? We are using a print writer class. If we are writing to a text file, we use the print writer class, right? And then yeah, this is how you do it, the short example. And then also scanning a txt, a text file, this is how you use it. And then we're using a scanner class, right? So yeah, you also see how it's used. Actually, this is what we're going to be using, because we're going to have to read not a text file, but it's a file, right? It's a file that consists of text, although the extension is not necessarily .txt per se, right? But it still performs the same things. If it was bytes in the files, we wouldn't be using the scanner over here. There is ones for the bytes and stuff like that. And then we have what we call automatic resource management. So it's basically a shortcut of having to open a file and closing it. So you see this way, the way that we're doing it here, we send try catch, and then you open the file, and then you're gonna have to close it here, right? These are long try. So automatic resource management gives us the ability to it's a shortcut. You declare your resource here, and then you won't have to close it manually. It's gonna automatically close it for you. And then this is an example here, right? And then you are opening the file or whatever this line does here, instantiating, and then you won't have to close the file. You see there's no final here, no final section needed, unlike this one over here, right? And also this finally, you're not gonna have it almost all the time. On some cases you don't even need final, but in terms of files you do need final. right? But most of the cases you're just gonna end here. Right? But anyway, let's just move on, and then you have what? Oh yeah, this is an example of automatic resource management. Also, here's an example of automatic resource management, and that's it, right? Nothing scary in here at all. And then moving to strings and regular expressions, and then you learn what strings are, right? The strings are immutable and all those things. Yeah, this is for you to learn all those things. And then we have types of string classes per se. Okay, string builder, string buffer, right? And then this necessarily does the same thing. We're mostly using this one, right? Well, you'll see on the previous video I've already used string builder, right? So it just gives us the ability to what? To wait, okay, there's no explanation here. But the ability to just create and construct our string. That's what the string builder is for. Builder for building, string, building a string. Right? And then we have two types of these things. Like I'm saying, we're mostly gonna use this one for obvious reasons because it's fast and then it's a fast operation. Although it's not thread safety, you'll learn about threads later on, like I don't know, second semester or this first semester, um, near the end or not, I'm not sure. But you will learn about threads and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about what is a thread for now. But yeah, we're using string builder. You can use this, they do the same thing, but yeah. And then we have string tokenizer. This was what we're gonna also be using almost throughout the year, right? Why? Because the string tokenizer gives us the ability to break the string with our with the string we provide, right? So let's say we have your name and your surname, right, divided by the spacebar, and they are all inside one variable. So you want to break those two so that you can have your name separate and your surname separates, both saved in different variables, right? So that's the use of string tokenizer. So basically, it's a class that gives us the ability to pass a string which we wanna split, and then also the string that we wanna split the string with, right? I don't know if that makes sense. So and as an example, you see here we have username colon password. So we wanna break the username and password separate so I can save username in a different variable and password in a different variable. So I'm gonna pass this whole thing in string tokenizer is like this here, and also pass the string that I wanna cut or divide or split this with, which in this case is the colon. Therefore, when I'm saying user token, which is the instance name here or object name, and then dot next token gives me the ability to get the first token or the first word, which is the username, and then the next token will give me the password. So that's how the string tokenizer works. We're going to be using this a lot, by the way, so you should understand how it works. And then we have regular expressions also on that note. Okay, let me just confirm. Okay, so regular expressions, they are used to say we have a file, right? In a file there's a lot of things, a lot of data. Let's say what informations of information about students, their names, say names, age, and stuff like that, right? They all under a file, right? But then the trick is we don't want all the data. We want the certain data which matches a certain thing, or which gonna help us in developing something. For example, maybe we want the name, the surname, the age. We don't want the ID, for example, and we want also the course name. So a regular expression gives us the ability to give a pattern of the kind of data we want, and then when we read through the file, we match it with the pattern to see if they match. And if it matches, that means it's the data that we want. So we read that data and we extract it and save it into or pass it into whatever class or something like that, right? So that's what a regular expression is used to do. You'll see it's a sequence of characters that is used to find a specific pattern, right? Can be anywhere, file, internet, wherever. Regular expression is defined by a formal language. Okay, you don't go read what this is all about, and then you have obviously have the way in which you format your regular expressions. So you see that ABC, it means simple A or B or C, right? So when you just say like this, it means A, B, or C. And then this over here means not, and then this here means A to Z, a capital letter A upon the capital letter. So that this means it includes each and every letter, A through Z, regardless of the case, right? Oh yeah, small case, bigger case. Anyway, yeah, we won't be using this a lot, but I'm not. You just read this and understand what it means. And then here we have shortcuts. For example, instead of me having to say A to Z, because this here and this here, they mean the same, as you can see. Oh no, not the same, because this one also includes the 0 to 9. So this one is a string, basically a single word character, right? So this one is a whole string. This one is a string but without the numbers part, right? I feel like it makes sense in that way. So yeah, and then we also have, this means white space, a single white space character. You can also use this, you can also use this, doesn't matter, right? And then this one means a single digit, basically, or you can just do this. So it's either you do this or you do this. Either both are acceptable. Even here is either you can do this or you do all this over here, right? And then we also have some limit. What is it? Range, I'll say, I guess, range or domain, maybe. Where like, for example, this one right here says x exactly n times, and we're gonna mostly be using this one, right? And then there's also at least n times, right? So that means anything less than n is not acceptable. So we're taking at least n times and above. So this one needs a range, like at least n times, but not more than m times, right? So yeah, that's it. Here's an example. Say we have these dates over here, right? You can see that some of the dates, they are not make sure. I'm saying that, for example, this one is not make sure, and then this one is not make sure. We're using, wait, are we? I'm not sure. Okay, I think we are only using the dash ones, not the not this ones. And also a date doesn't have a month doesn't have three values, only two values, right? So yeah, things like this. So you want the correct data with the correct date format, I guess, in this case, right? So here, this is where you formulate your regex, your regular expression, or your pattern, right? So as you can see, I first say I'm gonna take the values, the digits, right? Because remember, this means a single digit, but then when I put this here, that means 4 digits. So it caters for this for every 4 digits. So that means already this one is eliminated because this one is character, not digit, right? So the ones with 4 digits, they are safe. And then you go on and say dash. You want the ones with dash. So already this one is cut, eliminated also, right? That's fine. We move on, and then you go on and say you want, okay, hear me out on this one, right? We're here now, and this one, this thing over here represents month, right? So you say you want a date where it either have 0 or any value between 1 and 9, right? So this means it can either be 0, 0, oh, okay, no, 0, 1, right? 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 6, 0, 7, 0, 8, 0, 9, and blah, 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 right? Up until 0, 9 though. So this will cater up until 0, 9, 0, 1 up until 0, 9. We don't have 0, 0, right? That's it. So this will be eliminated over here because there's no month of 0 0, right? I hope it makes sense. So this part over here, so and then this means or, right? So it's either it will be this condition or this case over here. And this case over here is when the months are less than 10. It's 01 to 09, and this part here is when it's starting from 10 to 12, right? As you can see, instead of doing this, instead of using this 1 to 9, here they said I want a case where we have 1, right, and one of these in here, because remember this means either 0 or 1 or 2, so it can either be 1 0, 1 1, or 1 2. I hope that makes sense. And then again, this case caters for when the values are, when the month is like from 10 to 12, right? Then this case will happen. But if it's less than 10, then this case will happen over here. Again, this here means or, the single line here that you see, it's very important, right? This or this, it's it's a condition. And then moving on, and then we have a dash, and then here also same applies. You have to cater for the days start from 01 to 09, right? Which is this case over here. This surprise, which is this case over here, right? And then after that, you have to cover from 10 to 11, 19, yes, which is this case over here. Oh no. Okay, so okay, I see. Because why, if you think about it, from 10 to 19 is almost similar as 20 to 29. The difference is the 1 and the 2. Right? Hence is what I did here. So they said it's either 1 or 2, right? Because remember, this doesn't mean 12, but it means 1 or 2, right? And then in here, this is constant for both 1 and 2. They are the same, 0 to 9. Why am I saying that? Because after 0, 9, we have 10. And we're going to have 11, 12 up until 19. And we're going to have 20 in 2022 up until 29. So this condition here, 1 or 2 caters for that. And after that, we have or, where we have 30 and 31, right? Which is this case over here. We have 3, and then either it's going to be 0 or 1, meaning 30 or 31. Hope that makes sense. That's an example on how these things work. So we're going to be also using this just to, we're going to be using RegEx to match it with the data we're reading from file, right? And then if they match, that's the data we want, then we do something with that data, basically, in short. Whew, that was a lot of explaining. 17 minutes in. The aim is to make this video at least 1 hour 30 minutes. So as I said, I've already made the practical for the 2022 paper. It was a lot, and then a lot was happening here, and like that video, I'm gonna post it anyway for anyone who's interested in, like, having to experience the process of understanding something. Because that's basically what was happening in that video. I was trying to understand the question paper, which had flaws, and yeah, at the end of I solved the thing, but then it took me a lot of time to solve it for some reason, and only for these things only. Right? I know. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing a version 2 of that. Yeah, so let me close this, and then you're gonna go ahead and create your Java project, and then, like I'm saying, I'm gonna drag to version 2, right? I already have that one, and then save it under workspace. Make sure nothing is ticked here. Click on finish. So for this practical, I also realized that you're gonna need some additional files, for you to complete the practical, right? So, well, you won't be doing what I'm gonna do now, right? But you're sure gonna be given some additional files to work with. What do I mean by that? You're gonna need to have, okay, wait, my brain just is, okay, yeah, you're gonna need to have a data folder. Okay, where should I go now? Okay, here. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, am I flipping? Oh, data. Okay, so you're gonna be given this folder over here, the data folder, right? You're gonna need that actually. You're gonna need that. Yeah. So I'm just gonna copy it, and then I'm gonna be using this data to complete the practical, right? So let me just do that. Then I'm gonna paste it in my project, right? Just like this, and then have your data folder over here, which is the files where I'm going to read from, right? And then yeah, let me continue with the thingy. And if you come here and then you refresh, the folder will appear, right? So I believe I should be back now. 1, 2, and okay, that's it. At least I caught that before I even done things. So go ahead and oh yeah, the practical. Let's go through the practical and see what is it that we're supposed to do. This practical is a continuation of the practical that we did. So you'll see that we're continuing, like it's more like a series type of vibes. Anyways, so we have this thing anyway. The Milky Way space communication would like your department to validate and identify valid, invalid, or corrupted messages that that the spaceships are transporting, right? You have been provided with files, well, which are those normal, corrupt, and large file, and then we have to use a regular expression to validate the data in the files. You're provided with, and then the messages files are in the following format, and then we have the ship name and the ship ID, the ship name, right? Ship name can contain spaces. Ooh, this is tricky. Ship name can contain spaces. This is very important, right? Let me just do that. All of the lines are separated by spacebar. Okay, this is also very important because it tells you that when you're doing your RegEx, at some point you're going to be using \s. Then the first line is the ship data followed by the messages for that ship. This is also important. So the first line is the ship data followed by the messages for the ship. So that means because the thing about the file is that they're not necessarily saying that each and every ship will be correct, right? Some ship will have some fault data. Therefore, that means it's following messages. We won't have to read it, which is what confused me in the previous video, the version 1 of this practical, right? Yeah, it was such a flaw, a confusing practical, but I think I'll just post it anyway, and so you guys can see that it's not nice being a program at some point. Anyway, especially having to understand somebody's idea, right? Anyway, yeah, subsequent lines contain messages that ship is written. This is very important. Why am I saying that? Because once we find out the ship name and the information about the ship is correct, and we can then read the following messages and also confirm if the messages are correct according to the format of the perfect pattern we would have um, yeah, chose, right? So if you found that ship info or ship data is correct, automatically the following messages under the ship that under that ship data, we want or we shouldn't be reading it, or we shouldn't even be considering those messages, right? Yeah. Messages are sent. Messages sent that messages sent. Oh, okay. Are considered invalid messages and that have the same source. Oh, and destination. You see, this is also important. Messages sent that have the same source and destination are considered invalid. This is why is this important? Are considered invalid. So it's like you're sending a message to yourself, so it's not make sure, right? That's invalid. Okay. Uh, And then the message format is the message ID, the language, the contents, the source planet, and the destination planet. Nothing hectic there. Then we have the ship info. We have unique identifier of the ship starting with SH, and then the 4 additional language, name of the spaceship, and then the message is info, and then have the unique identifier IDs and 6 additional whatsoever language, the text, and the contain alphabet characters. Okay, the planet from which the message is being sent from, and then the planet to which the message is being sent. See? Oh, from, okay, the planet from which, okay, to which the message. Okay, that's fine. In order to complete the assignment, the following must be taken. Requires that all development is correctly and accurately modeled, and therefore require you to complete the UML class. I'm not gonna do this. Yeah, create a file handler. This is what I'm gonna do though. A file handler class in this package, right? And then let me just copy that. I'm gonna be using it now. The class must have a read file method. The read file must take a file name as a parameter, right? Name, file name as a parameter, and then uses automatic resource management to process the file, reads through each line, and test for validity. If not valid, the error message is printed to the error string. Validity test completed using regular expressions, right? And then after, if you find a right information, right data, you create using that information, and then add messages as described. Then returns an array of ship instances. Ooh. In the file, handle assumptions that arise during the file input output process. And then in the main file, in the main class, that's where your read text is in the function. I mean the class, and display the various shapes and their respective messages being transported. Note your solution must be able to handle all provided text files. And then yeah, that's it. No confusion as of yet, but then the confusion will arise from this part here, right? And then you'll see what I mean by that, unless it's just me complicating the thing. Otherwise, let's continue. Let's move on. Yeah, one thing that I'm gonna need, however, I'm also gonna need that they didn't mention it here, I think. I didn't mention that the main file is also given to us. Oh no, not the main file. Like we are using the data, you must display your solution, you must be able to handle all text. This is just essential. There's some important information they are leaving behind here. That's fine. Main class, we're gonna do this and this, right? What do I mean by that? They don't specify that we should be using the We don't specify that we should be using the solution given to us, right? Because in order for us to do this, we're gonna have to have the ship class and the message class and the planet thingy enum, if it's the recall, right? And then on the past practical, the 2022 or 2021 one, they mentioned that it's either you use a jar file to import those files, or you use the solution given to you, and then you create those files and then put them in your project and then utilize them. You don't change them, you just use them and then utilize them to solve this problem over here. What do I mean by that? So over here, I'm gonna need to actually let's see. Let me go back. Yeah, so over here, right, I am going to need to copy some of the things in here, especially this. Okay, wait, what? Seems like was I using a jar file? Wait, what's happening? I have a file right here, which is this one right here. I have a file right here, which is this one right here. And then where's the jar file? Because that means I was using the jar file. Is it here? Oh, yes. Actually, let me guys teach you how to input a jar file. This is what we call a jar file. It's a library which you include in your project so that you can be able to access. It consists of files, classes that you're gonna utilize for the project, for the practical project. So let me just copy this as a whole thing, clip, right? And also, you're gonna have to make a folder, lib for library, short for library, right? And then that's where you're gonna put your jar file. And again, this jar file, you're gonna get it from the additional files thingy on Eve, so you don't have to worry about it. In this case, I'm just gonna have to copy it from my last solution and paste it here, right? In under here. So now I have my lib, I have my source, and my bin doesn't have anything, and I have my data. So these two over here, lib and data, or the files inside the jar file and the data folder, you're gonna get them from the additional files thingy on Eve. Hope you guys know what I'm talking about. You should be actually. And then so I'm going to show you guys how to make this to be part of your project so you can access it and utilize it, right? Let's actually get to that now. As you can see, okay, let me refresh. With the refresh, you see that it is here, right? But it's not, we're not done. We're supposed to integrate it into our system. How do we do? You right click on the group, on the project name, right? You right click, not that one, this one. You right click, you go to build path, and then you say add library, right? You come here, and then this one is user library, right? Well, I hope so. And then user library. You see, we have JavaFX. Well, then you're not gonna do JavaFX. You're gonna do user library. Ooh. I think about it, ne? Okay, let me see. Let me use this way. My bad. Bear with me here, because I feel like that way that procedure might be the one for integrating JavaFX. Let's say you go to build path and then you go to configure build path, right? Configure build path, and then you have your libraries here, and then you go to the class path right here, class path, and what you do, you say add external jars, right? And then you go to where you saved your jar file, which is under your project, and then under the library folder, and then that's where the jar file is at, this one, right? And then after that, you just say apply and thingy, and then you'll see that you have a reference library here, right? That's how you integrate the things, the jar file in your project. And you can see I'm able to access the ePlanet, messages class, the ship class. This is going to help me to create those classes, those ship, the messages, and here I'm going to be able to access the planets, right? That's what I meant. So now, it being part of our project, I can worry less about a lot of stuff. What I'm going to do now is just create a package for the file. But remember, they said that we're going to have to create a file handler class, which will be under that package. The package name is this one right here, right? And then click finish. Then under here, you're gonna create the class called wait, is it file handler, right? So under the package, you create a class, and this class doesn't need to have this, but you can generate comments. Those are the comments I was telling you about documenting. Because okay, look, this one's done needed actually. This one, however, that's where the author comes in, right? And then, okay, let me use my YouTube username, and then reg to v2, right? And then also have this can be under version. So because we also have that version and paste it. So something along this lines. And you can also have again summary of this file here, file handler. For example, they say create file handler that must just have to okay, there's a lot happening in this file handler. But yeah, you can also give a summary of the class here if you want, right? If you want. So is that it for this thing? So let me just create also a main class right away before I forget. And then this main class doesn't have to be in any package. It can be in a default. It should be actually, not it can be. And then tick on the public. There is no typical, it's discouraged. That's a new body. And then yeah, click on the public so it can create the main file, the main function for you. And then what you can also do is copy this over here. Wait, my bad. Wait, behave. And then just paste it over there at the top, right? And then with that, you should be almost, well, you should be ready. We are ready to start actually. Let's start coding. So we start with our file handler, right? So our file handler, they said it is gonna need to consist of a method, right, called a read file. Let me just copy that. And then this read file method returns an array of ship instances, right, found in a file. That's also important. So we're gonna have something like public, right? That's how we declare or initiate or define our method. Public, it's an array, right? How do you write an array of ships? It's going to be ships, and then something along these lines, and then the name of the thing, and then something like this, right? So you see this will say imported, right? Ooh, I think it's ship, not ships. Let me do this and see if it can show. Wait, am I missing something? With my references, it's a ship class. That's what I need. Seems like ship class interface is not an interface. Ship class add parameter. Why can't I detect the thing? I'm not gonna have to say import. That's a good question. That's a good question. Let's see if I were to say import, but you can just do that by yourself. But since we now AC SSE dot model, right? Oh, okay. You see now. So it worked. As you can see, I'm importing everything under the module. That means this, and this, right? So you can just do that by yourself. For some reason, they didn't have an option for me to, because we love shortcuts. And I can't make this static because I'm gonna have to call it on each and every option for of the file, like for each of the files, the three files, the normal, then what and what. So I can't make it what I no, I can't. I don't think I can. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's public, it's sheep, and then it returns an array of sheep, and then it's the read file. They said it should have what is it here? Require uses it takes a file name as a parameter, right? File name. So this should be a string file name, something along these lines, right? And then here for now we can just say return null because I can see it's complaining with that. And then let's start coding. The first thing that we need to do is to what is it? To what is it? Instantiate or make open a file. Like, okay, I don't know how to say it, but we're gonna have to say a file, which is the class that's gonna give us the ability to open a file and like all those things, right? When you say file and then file, it's equals to new file, and then inside what you do, you pass the file, the path, right, which is the file name there. The file name is not necessarily the name of the file. It can be the name of the file because they didn't say the path of they take a file name as a parameter. Okay, a file name as a parameter, right? Not a path of the file. So what I'm going to do now is create a path, right, which is gonna take on some data and then plus file name. What do I mean by this? So what am I doing here? The path here is where the file is found, right? So it is found under the data. Where's the data? This is the data folder, and then one of these files over here. So this is where I am going to get the file name. So I'm just passing the file name, for example, corrupt.txt, and then it will be joined along with the data. So it becomes the path of the file, or the file path, right? So, and then here I'm gonna pass the path instead of the file name, and then let me just do this, and I'm gonna have to import the file from the input output what is it, library, right? So you can just say something like the path of the file, right? And then here what you're actually doing is, I don't know what you're doing, instantiating the file. So you're not opening it as of yet, but yeah, you are doing something here. you I don't have the right words for this, but you're supposed to do that, right? Anyways, and then they said we must use automatic resource thingy. So you're gonna have try over here, right? So how does it work? It works by doing this, right? And then here that's where you declare your either your reading, your writing, your reading or writing classes, right? In our case, we are reading, and I said to you, when reading it from a text file, we use a scanner class. Yeah, scanner class, just like this scanner scan, right? And then equals to new scanner. And then what do we pass inside? We pass the file. Okay, that makes sense. We pass the file we just made there, right here, this one. And then you're gonna have to import this, and then you're gonna have to put a semicolon there if I'm not mistaken. Wait, where is it complaining? Oh yes, some throws over here. Catch, obviously. And then what could happen when you try to open a file? You can find that the file is unknown, right? Unknown file. Exception. What is it? Unknown. 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 What am I doing? Unknown what? Is it unknown? Because I might be okay. It's not unknown. Okay, what is that error? Exception. Oh, file not found exception. My bad. Where is it? Actually, supposed to be somewhere around here. Uh, file not found exception. Not here. Oh yeah, here it is. File not find exception. That's what could happen. You're trying to open a file which is not found or doesn't exist, or maybe the naming could be wrong or the path could be wrong, right? Then after that, we have the mother of the exceptions, which is just IO, not mother actually, of input output exceptions, right? And then that's just that over there. And then you could do something with these things here, which is in our case we mostly just print them to stack trace, right? Basically, this will when you get an error exception, and then it prints the stack like the it's more like, oh, okay, I don't know. Okay, I know, but I can't explain it. You'll see if we do get an error in the future. I mean, not in the future, when we continue coding. So you'll see what I mean by print stack. Basically, you can be able to trace where the error comes from. So it breaks it for you. It breaks the error or the exception for you in the sense that it tells you that the error occurred from this, right? Where this comes from this class, this comes from this class up until where the error occurs on the like specific line of your code. Hope that makes sense. So that's what the print stack trace does, right? And then so I hope nothing's confusing as of yet here. Then this is what using um, a automatic resource ARM, right? Which is automatic. Excuse my spelling. Automatic. What? Oh, resource management, something along those lines. And then yeah, so now with this you should be able to read from your file, right? And then this is how we say, this is how we read from file, right? We say while is very important, not capital letter but small letter, while our scan, right, but has next line, not just next, next line, right? That means while our file still has the next line to be read, right? Remember, each and every file it has a null pointer at the end, where like there's nothing to be read, right? So this basically says while there's not there's while it is while the next while the next line is not null, basically, in a way, like you can use it like that. So
trading your life for my offenses, for my redemption. You carried all the blame, breaking the curse of our condition. Perfection took our place. We know
Yeah, guys, I keep forgetting the mic thing. I don't know. Yeah, I keep on forgetting the mic thing. I don't even know at what point did I lose it. But basically, what I just did here is like you know have my patterns outside, because as I said, this happens once. You don't need to put them inside the while loop, so each and every time you create, no, you don't need it. So we're still gonna put the patterns in here, don't worry about that. And then so we're reading data right from the file, and then we're checking if the data we read matches with the one of the matches with the pattern of the sheep, right? And then if it matches, right, that means the data is correct and we do something. If it doesn't match, then we print out to the error stream console, whatever, right? And then basically what we're printing out is just that data and also that it's invalid sheet data, right? I hope that makes sense. And then so like I'm saying, right, it's only after the ship data becomes true, then we can be able to read the messages, right? Not the other way around. If the ship data is not true, then its following messages won't be read or would be disregarded actually. That's the whole idea. So if ship dot matches, we're gonna have to break down the we're gonna have to break down the thingy, this data that we get here by the spaces. Why? Because we need the ship ID, the ship name, and what else is there on the thingy? The ship ID and the ship name, basically these two only, right? We're gonna need this separately so we can be able to create our ship instance. That's my point, right? So how are we gonna do that? Breaking these two into two things. I remember. Oh, okay. So for this one, I want to make this thing interesting so you guys get used to the functions, right? Um, I want to make it interesting because what we're going to do here is this. We're going to say string tokenizer, right? String tokenizer. Why is that? Oh, let me just comment. Split, split or split. What am I doing? What am I doing? Split data by space, white spaces by spaces, right? So what do I mean by that? We say string tokenizer st for string tokenizer is equal to new string tokenizer, right? So inside I pass the line, which is the data we just read. I'm gonna have to import this from the Java util, and then there you go. So initially, well, they say if you don't put anything inside, this thing will just automatically, the terminal uses default delimiter set, which is the spaces and all this, right? So if I don't put anything, don't be confused. Automatically or by default, it uses the space things over there, right? Of which that's what I'm going to be dividing using, splitting using. So split using, yeah. So with this, I'll be able to get my ship ID, which is the ring. You can say ship ID equals to, right, st.next. Okay. This gives me the ability to get the first thing. And then when I say the second one is the what again? The ship name, which is string in the ship name, for example. Then I say st.next. Nothing hectic here, right? Nothing hectic at all. And after doing this, I have to create an instance of a ship where the messages coming afterwards will have to be added upon. So unique identifier of the ship starts with an SH, then for additional, then the name of the ship, and that's it, right? So I'm going to create that. I'm going to say ship let me use small letter ship, right, equals to new, and I create an instance out there using the two things there, ship ID and then ship name. And that should be okay, except for this is supposed to be capital letter D. And then we do other stuff. So what I wanted to do was to just instead put this in a whole on its own. Let me say here, create writing ship instance, right? So what I wanted to do was create a function where I put this in its own function, and then just to make our lives easier. How do I do that? Again, this is just for you to get used to the function things, right? So here I'm gonna say public, guys, don't get confused. I hope you won't get confused. And what I'm going to return is an instance of a ship, right? Only one ship, and then I say what? Well, I can just say ship, nothing stops me from doing so, right? And then what do I pass inside? I pass the string line, right, which is the data actually. And then from there, what I'm going to do is just copy all this over here, right? Copy it and then paste it in here, and then you'll see that. And then after I can say return ship, right? Wait, what? Why is it complaining? Oh, okay, that's it, right? So instead of having to do a lot of hectic stuff, ship tokenizer. Let me give it a proper name here. Ship what ship? I don't know, tokenizer. Something along this line, ship tokenizer. And then here I'm also gonna have this instead, and then what I do, and then passing the line. However, this returns something, so I'm supposed to assign it to something else, preferably something along the lines of ship, then ship equals, right? Something like this. I hope this makes sense, guys. I hope this makes sense. Well, you can still say creating ship instance with the function, right? The only difference here is that I'm using the function over here to create the ship instance. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So that's not actually the tricky part. The tricky part now is having to read the following messages, because now I'm thinking, right? Because now that I've read and I've created this ship, right? Let's just assume that I'm done for now. It's gonna come here and again, and then read the next line. Read the next line, which is the messages, right? The messages is neither this will match with neither this. Wouldn't match with this. That's my point, right? So it wouldn't make sense. Hence, on the last video, if you guys gonna check it out, or if you've already checked it out, the thing that was confusing me is how we gonna store the messages of the first ship in case the ship matches, well, if in case the ship data from the file is the correct one, because it seems as though I don't know if it makes sense. Does it make sense? Yeah, Mara, if you guys watched the previous video, it will make sense, but now I have a different idea, and the idea that I have now is a bit hectic, and hopefully it's gonna help me to solve the issue that I was having with this. So now we are reading, right? While this thing has next line and stuff like that, we read the first line, we saw that it matches the one with the ship data, right? So we want the messages after the ship data to be stored in the ship, right? So, right, the issue is if I were to go out now of this if statement, read the next line again, the next line is of the messages, so it wouldn't match this, so it won't enter in here, right? So I'm supposed to cater for that. Actually, it will go in here and says very ship data, because it is true, it is a message data, it's not a ship data, right? So what I'm thinking of doing rather is having to also bring this while loop here in here, so I can read the following lines again. What do I mean by that? So basically what I want to do is something like this again, right? Hear me out, hear me out. Let me cook. Well, of course, if it's cookable. So what I'm going to do now actually is to bring the while loop again. I know that means this is going to be log of n multiplied by log of n, which is log squared n, which is what is it, a lot? I don't know. I think it's a lot, yes. I mean, it takes has a larger, what am I trying to say? Larger time complexity, yes. Because log n log of n, and then yeah. So what I was saying is, right, doing this, I'm already inside this ship here. So the things that I'm going to be reading over here, uh ish, it's like, oh yeah, the things that appear. No, what am I saying? So I'm inside this sheet now, right? I've already created an instance. So now I'm come here now. I say while scan hit that has next line, then I read the messages now, right? So now I'm supposed to do something with the messages. Um, I'm supposed to do something with the messages. However, the only issue is, at what point do I know Guti? This is the This is the end of the messages. I don't know. That's the issue with this also, right? Because now if I were to read this, it would work for the first cases, right? Let's say now the message is not correct. The data from the file, the message data from the file is not correct, right? And also, how am I going to differentiate it from the cheap data? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things happening here. But I think I have a catch, right? So okay, I can say, okay, let me cook. If the opposite of this, what am I trying to mean by that? If the opposite of this, right? If the opposite of this and up and right, not just that, if it's the opposite of that, well, it wouldn't make sense because it could be the opposite of that, but what if it's the opposite of that, but then it's the right message? Okay, okay, let me cook something also. If it's the opposite of this, this wouldn't make sense. Because in a case where this is correct, then it becomes something. Yeah, you see now. So let's say if this, right, if it's not okay, but I think I'm onto something. I don't know. I feel like I'm onto something. Let me do it like this. If okay, let me say else, right? So if it matches with the ship data, what then? That's also something else. If mship dot matches, in case it matches with the ship data, I do something like this. This doesn't make sense, guys. I thought I was cooking, but I think I'm gonna be eating the food. This is confusing. Like I don't know. Like I'm saying, having to understand the ideology of this guy is something else, right? Let's see, how many minutes am I in? 1 hour. Okay. Well, I'm not close from finishing, but enough. So, because I'm more interested in the logic of this practical, right? The way they were thinking this thing. Because like I'm saying, guys, I don't know if you guys get my point. Let me actually open the normal thing, right? So in this case, the first line, well, we know we're gonna have the ship ID, the ship data, the ship data. After the ship data, if the ship data is correct, it's gonna be followed by the messages, right? That's fine. So I want a way that, okay, I want a way that would allow me to read this, and then I find that it's correct, then makes and then gives me the ability to save these messages and then into this sheet over here, right? So like I was saying, if I were to do it in this way, let me just remove this for now. So it's not gonna be completed. If I do this, right, so what does this do? This allows me to read the first line, which is the ship data, and then I see to that it matches, which is fine, and then I create an instance. The next round, when I'm reading the next line, it's a message data, right? It's not a ship data, so this won't be correct, right? This won't be correct. This won't be correct unless I create. And then if this won't be correct, then I won't get to save the messages onto the sheet. That's my chat. That's what I'm trying to mean, right? And then, or I can make an else if here, and then create the one for example, create the one for the messages, right? If it doesn't match with the sheep, then it should be matching with the thing over here, right? But then also with this, the issue is that with this, the issue, okay, let me just create a second thing for this. My bad for posting a note. Let this be a message, right? Which takes in the message, right? That should be fine. So let's say, for example, we have something like this, right? That matches, obviously. So, and then obviously, assume that this is not there. Let's say the else part, we have an else part over here. So the issue with this is that the first sheet is read, the data matches, and then I'm done. I'm reading the next line. The next line is the sheet data. It doesn't match with this, right? It matches with this, which is fine. Which is fine. Yeah, which is fine, right? Then I have to add this message onto the sheet now, right? That's fine. So and then okay, and then that and then let's say now comes a sheet data. We read the sheet data is correct. I create a new sheet instance, and then from there, what do? I am following messages, and then all those things. So in case of a sheep, okay, in case where a sheep data is not correct, we shouldn't be able to read the messages, right? That's my chat actually. We shouldn't be able to read the messages. So we shouldn't be able to read the messages, but then because where are we gonna save them? We're gonna end up saving them in the thingy. Am I complicating this? Now that I think about it. Am I complicating this? Or should I just do it anyways and then we'll see where it ends up actually. Let's just do it there. Here, this is the thing also. That means I won't necessarily have to say ship data. I'm gonna say evaluate data just to cater for both the ship and the ship and the messages. And then here I'm going to create a same thing However, for this one, it's gonna be for the message, which will be a longer one, right? Message tokenizer, something along these lines. And then I'm gonna have to call, oh yeah, this returns a message to the ship. And then here I'm gonna say what? I'm gonna say message SMS equals to message tokenizer, and I pass the line, right? And then I'm gonna have to add this into the ship. That's the thing also. This thing is tiring, man. But anyway, we have this now. I'll just copy this. Oh yeah, now that I think about it, message, and I'm gonna have to copy this, I believe, here. However, I'm gonna have to split this differently now. We have the ship ID, but this is the SMS ID. And just use that. And then what else do we have for the message? The language, lingo, doesn't have to be perfect. And then what else do we have? We have string. This is a string actually. Content, I think. SMS itself, okay. String, SMS, right. Because st.next, okay, I don't need anything existing over here. For these two, you guys should understand what's happening here. For these two, I'm gonna have to make their data type the A planet, right? Because I want them to be able to fetch the planets from the enum thing. So this is what we're gonna do. You do have it over here, don't get confused. So we're gonna say E planet, E, wait, E, what am I saying? Oh, small letter, big letter, E, okay, it seems to all be E planet. Come on now, you are there, I see you. What am I doing different? E planet. Okay, wait, what am I doing different? E planet underscore. Oh, okay. And I say, what is this source? I think. Let me just say SRC. Right. And then this is gonna be, wait, what do I have inside? Okay. It's a class. Okay. Sharp. So this is what I'm going to do now. We have what we call a planet. Come on now. A planet. I don't know why it doesn't detect, but it's able to do this. We have what we call value of, guys. This thing is very important. You're gonna be using it most of the time also to convert a string thing into whatever the data type you have, right? So this gives me the ability to convert what I'm reading from the data into planet manner. So now I can be able to do this, right? So I will do the same for the destination also. The difference there here will be test for destination, test, and then here I'm creating a message instance, not a ship instance. Then I'm gonna need the what it is, the SMS ID, lingo for language, and then SMS for the content, and then SRC for the source, and then destination for the destination planet, and then I return the just say message is fine, and then I return the message over here, right? Do you guys understand? Oh, one of the coolest thing ever also, you can generate what again? You can generate Java documenting for a thingy. by saying source, then generate what do I want again? Oh, generate element block. Wait, oh, let me do this. Highlight, then source, then generate element block. You'll see returns message instance, message line. You can say data read from file. You don't have to be specific, but yeah. Anyways, ship message instance, for example, right? Something along these lines. So yeah, something like this, and then you can also obviously do the same for the thing over here, just to make it a bit more fun and interesting for you. Ship instance, right? And then line, which is just data right from that's from the file, right? Yeah, that's it. And then okay, like I'm saying, guys, the trick comes in now. Everything fine, but I'm supposed to take this message, this message over here that I've created, and add it onto this ship, right? The question is, am I adding it inside this ship or am I adding it in here? And each one of these has its own core. But again, what do you call them? It's a course. My bad. Cons or something like that. You know the thrill. Anyway, so yeah, why am I saying that? Because now it seems as though now I'm gonna have to instantiate this tonal outside. Why is that? So I can be able to initialize it inside, and then once I know, okay, obviously this has to go. So once I've created something of this nature, well, it's gonna have to be outside of this actually, because it's going to be outside of the while, I'm guessing, right? No, actually, outside of the if, no, it's fine, because for each and every thing that I make, I don't have to initially. You see, this is also the tricky part about this. I want to initialize each and every time, so I can put it in here, right? For example, so I initialized once, right? And then I read the ship data, then I assign it to the ship, which is this one. Now I know this one is no longer null. Then I know the next line that I'm going to read is message related data. So it's going to be coming here, reading, checking if they're equal, they're the same, they match, and all those things. And then if they match, I add. How do you add? You say ship dot add message, and then you add SMS, right? That's how you add onto the instance. And then you can comment here, obviously. And then after adding, so here is the trick now, right? Here's the trick. With the normal txt, it's gonna work properly. I think it's gonna work properly. Why am I saying that? Because it doesn't have any error at all the things here, they are correct, right? It's gonna display them all. There's no correct incorrect data in here. I mean to say there's no incorrect. Something that I didn't check, where if the planet, the source planet and the thinking planet are the same, it's supposed to be invalid also. So always the case here, right? uh, what am I gonna do that actually? I think here, right? I'm supposed to check if it's to thingy. If not, then I return. If yeah, then I return now. For example, let me just do that. If src dot equals to test, right? Then I wanna do something. My bad. I wanna do something. What is that something? I basically just wanna create an instance over here and return it, right? We're not done. Else part. Else, what are you supposed to do? Well, you can either just do else or just basically just say return, or the return breaks working the thingy. And then you return null. Returning null is not necessarily ideal. You can just return new message unless it wants me to pass on the because I don't think we have the default constructors. It doesn't allow me to do this. Well, I guess you can just pass null then if that's the case, right? There's nothing wrong with doing that. So if SRC, oh wait, what am I doing here? My bad, guys, yo. It's supposed to be the opposite, right? I can just put this over here. So if this is not equal to this, then you create a new message and then you return the message. Otherwise, you return none, right? So here, that means I'm supposed to check before I even add the thing to thing. I'm supposed to check if this message is null or not. And how am I going to do that? Now that I think about it, I don't even need to assign this, right? I can say if, for example, is not okay. Hear me out. But equals, right? Right. If it's not equals to now, it's something I don't know if in here it also applies, right? But if something like this, then that means it belongs under the if statement. I wonder if that thing is possible. What I'm gonna do is this, instead of having to create a new thing, right? And then I put it over here. This should be working. And otherwise, if that's the case, what you do, you just do this over here, basically, literally, in G. That's all it's supposed to do. I hope this makes sense, guys. Right? So I'm reading the message now and I pass it onto here. Here. This will return an instance, right? I pass the line, the data that I've read into the function, right? I'm saying if this function that is returning an instance of a message, if it's not equals to null, then I want to add that instance onto the message. But if it's equals to null, that means this won't execute, obviously. Then it will come here and then it will. Although again, like I'm saying, I'm not sure if this applies in Java. I've never tried. Let me just to be safe. We could just still do this because like literally it's not a lot of work. The thing I don't wanna like the thing about it is that it's not a lot of lines, so I don't wanna use I want it to be cool once my lifetime makes it. But you can still do it in this one also, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? You add also this is not good because after adding it's still gonna print out this thing. So I guess this one belongs in the S part. Right? Else this. So now we have this, right? So if it's not this case, if this is not the case, then you do this case. If the message.line is equals to null, right? If this is not equals to null, right? This is what the exclamation mark means. Then you add it onto the sheet, and then if it's equals to null, then you print out the thing, put it invalid data, right? I think SRC that equals to that, then you return the message. I don't know. I feel like I'm cooking here now. Right, let's see how many minutes did I eat. 1 hour 30 minutes more at least. Because mind you, we haven't even done the RegEx thing, which is the last part. Not a hectic thing to do. So yes, like I was saying, guys, this would work, right? But for a case where, but for this normal text here, for this normal file, right? Because everything is correct in here. You read the first data, it's a ship data, it's correct. And then you read the following messages. Obviously, the following message won't be the same as the ship data, so match will match the message pattern, and then at the same time being added onto the ship, right? And then same applies now. You read here and then you find out that this is a ship data, and then you create a new ship instance. You see, so this makes sense, right? This is a normal file. But with a corrupt file, it's a different scenario. It's a different case, and I think now that I think about it, I won't have. It's not necessarily possible to cater for all the files, right? Unless now I make what is it? I think that if it's a correct file, then read it in this manner. If it's a normal file, read it in this manner. Why am I saying it? Because, for example, okay, this over here to start with is correct. Let me check. Let me just confirm because I thought it was 4. You see, already this is wrong, right? Because it's supposed to be the SH and 4 additional digits. So this is not correct over here. And if the ship data is not correct, the following messages are not supposed to be read nor added onto the ship. Well, the ship doesn't exist to start with, right? So this shouldn't be read. But based on how this thing is being done here, because we're saying if it doesn't match the ship data, then it might match the thingy. It might match the thing over here, right? The message. Unless again I say, you see now, why am I adding the thing? Unless I say if ship is not null, right? Then you can add. If it's null, then don't add. But then there'll be a case again, right? Okay, let's say for that case I solve it using in that manner that if we read the data, the ship data, and the ship data is not correct, right? So that we assume that this will be null. But then if it happens that for the first time, yes, for example, here it's just the case that where am I going now? Here is just the case that the first date ship data is incorrect. If it was to happen that the ship data is correct, right? Okay, let's say this is not correct. And obviously this makes sense because this is null, right? It comes here. This is correct. Which is something that I forgot also, that the ship name can have space bars. Yo, I didn't cater for that. Name of space. Did I say that well? Ship name can contain spaces. Yeah, I didn't cater for, and this is important because, yeah, yo. Anyways, let's continue though. So this ship data is correct, right? It is correct. So that means the ship won't anymore be null. It's gonna have the instance of this ship because I know it's gonna create the instance of this ship, right? And then after that, it's gonna read the following messages. The following messages, some will be incorrect, some will be incorrect. That's fine, but then it will be adding on to this, right? Then comes here. This ship over here, it's okay. This is also correct, right? So it initializes this instance, and then the messages. That's fine. And then also this one here is correct. Oh, okay. Oh, it seems my analogy was not correct. Okay, it seems like, okay, the idea of having to do this here, right? Before I add, right? I know I'm saying if I message the organizer, it's equals to null, right? And also, let me just say, this, and also if ship, right? Ship is not equals to null. I hope that this makes sense, guys. Right? Why am I doing this for? For this case where, in our case over here, right? Like I said, in our case over here, the correct file, the first chip here is incorrect, and if it's incorrect, right, then the following messages are not supposed to be added also, right? Up until the ship has a proper data, therefore the instance of a ship will be created, right? But once again, I didn't cater for space bars because that's also an issue. You'll find that it only takes the thingy over here. Yeah, ish. I didn't cater for this. Let me just do that quick. Hopefully it will be quick. They didn't say anything about the message, however, right? Anything. message sent, what are message ID, link or contents, and then source planet and then destination planet, right? I don't know how I'm gonna cater for this destination planet here, but that's fine. And then, so I'm saying for the space bars, the ship thingy over here, right? So we are breaking the ship over here, name and whatsoever. And then they say the ship name can have space bars. So what I'm doing here, if I'm breaking the thing by space bars, and the ship name can have space bar for this case here, for like this case over here, that means we're gonna have 1, 2, 3 tokens that we must handle. And in this case, I'm only catering for 2. So it's gonna take the ID and the CS and leave the other the other name in the space. I don't know why. Yeah. So in order to cater for that, we're gonna have to twinkle around this thing. What do I mean by that? Right? So there's nothing wrong with this, but it's not proper anymore. Right? It's not proper anymore. In what sense? Here's the sense. So I'm gonna say while, right, st dot, then there's has more elements here, has more tokens actually. True if and only if at least one token in the string above the current string has more tokens, right? You could count the tokens, right, and then the print number of tokens. Actually, this is a long right. This one is proper because what I can do is create an array where I just insert those things. As it makes sense. As it makes sense. Am I gonna complicate this? And now that I think about it, what could be the difference between string tokenizer and split well? Like what could be the difference? I mean, here it works properly because well, I don't have the, but then what could be the difference between, because I feel like the way that I want to do it, it's a long try, because what I could do is just say line dot split by space bars. So it's gonna split all those things by space bars. And I know that the first index, on the first index, which is 0, index 0, right? It's gonna be the ID. And then the last indexes, it's gonna be the ship things. I won't even care what those are, right? So I don't know if you guys get me, but like I don't know. I don't want to make my life easy. I don't want to make my life hard. I want to make it easy. So what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to say, bear with me here. Line array. Okay. What is it? The string. String. Yeah, it's a string of array of strings. String is an array, right? And then what do I say? I say info, ship info. Then I say equals to line dot split by what? By a space bar. This is what I mean, right? Why am I doing this? Because of this. This is very important. Ship name can contain spaces, and besides ship name containing spaces, I know that this also is working. Yes. Beside containing space working, beside the ship name containing spaces, I also know that the ship data itself is divided by the spaces, right? And I know that the first data of the ship data is the ID of the ship, right? So that alone is gonna be in the index 0. So what I can do here, I can say info. I don't need this now that I think about it, right? Sorry guys, like yeah, it's not that I think about it, but I don't think the starting analyzer. It still works, but it's it's a long try, and I don't want that, right? So we wanna make our lives easier. So what I can do here, I already know that here it's gonna be the oof now. I'm gonna have to. Okay, this is hectic name. For the ship name, I'm gonna have to say something like that. Ship name string ship name. Bear with me here. String ship, I don't, ship name equals to nothing, right? And then I'm gonna say for each, hopefully it's gonna work. No, not for each. For each, and it's gonna also include the first ID. I don't want that. I know that first ID is the thing, right? So I'm gonna have to use for loop to be precise of what I want, right? So I'm gonna say for loop int I equals to, this is not 0 1. What is that actually? I think I'm not info at 0 is my ID. I'm certain of that, right? And then here I'm starting at 1, and then where I is less than info length, and then I plus plus, and then what do? You say ship name. You say ship name equal plus equals to info. Ooh, info at. I think it would be nice. Info at I. And then I'm also going to have to add a space bar at least. Right? Does this make sense? Does this make sense? So basically, I am like appending upon this ship name here, right? The ship name. So if it has two things, the bad side about this is that it's gonna leave a space bar at the end, and I'm not willing to be, what is it, eliminating the space bars and stuff like that. I don't know if you get my point. Because now when it runs for the last time, it's gonna put a space bar at the end. It's fine, it's not something we should be worrying about. The good thing is that we catered for a case where there's the name, the ship name consists of space bars. I hope you get my point. And then the ship ID, we get it from the index 0. And I hope you also guys understand that. And then with that being said, um, we should be done with this, right? But it's our thing. What was I saying again? I even forgot. What was I even saying? I think everything should be okay now. Well, for now at least. We further was saying about, okay, let's say the data we're reading is not correct, right? And then if it's not correct, if the data is not correct, then this would be false, obviously, right? This won't execute, and then also this one will execute, obviously, and then goes to the messages. And if the messages, one of the messages happens to be true, it's gonna come here, right? And say if, and then I pass it. Obviously, this part here won't be, it won't be what is it? It won't be false. It's gonna be true, right? Because let's say the message is correct data, so it's gonna create an instance and all those things. But then the ship would be null, right? So making, logic, true and false don't go together, right? So it's gonna end up being false. Then it's gonna come here and print out the thing, right? So in a case where, let's see the other case, this one over here, the large file, I hope it doesn't complicate things also. Let's see, we have the, okay, that's proper, 1990. This is correct. We don't care about the messages. If it's correct or incorrect, it doesn't matter. It's correct. Oh, but this is large here. And then it comes here. This is correct also. And then do the shape. This is correct. Okay, it seems this is not correct. The agent is gonna pick it up, and then that means this is not supposed to come, which is where the issue comes in now, right? I think, oh damn, here is the trick about all this, right? Just right after I'm done. Okay, no, it doesn't make sense because, okay, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Oh, I thought I had it. Yes, I thought I had it because, yes, because like for a case like this one, guys, right? This is not correct because it's supposed to be 4 digits here, right? But then mind you, this here it was correct, so this is not now. The ship is not now. So the following red messages will be inserted or well added onto this thing over here, this spaceship, which is not correct. Ideally, when this ship here is not correct, even the messages following it should not be added anyway. Right? For example, even this here ship here is not correct, it's supposed to be 4 digits, right? So this ship is not correct, therefore these messages here, they are not supposed to be added, right? So it seems as though these messages over here, all these messages, well, up and well, even this one, the ship is not correct. So all these messages, the following messages up until here at least, right? Because I think this one is correct, will be added onto that one sheet. So I want a way that I don't know if there could be a way, like a way that could make I don't know if you guys get the point. Like I don't know if you guys get my point. I mean it's a lot of thinking and it's of the other side out there. I don't think they were thinking of such a scenario where let's say this ship is not null. I mean, it's correct, then the messages are added, then the next ship to be read is incorrect. But mind you, we didn't initialize this to null, the previous ship to null, and we can't do that. There's no way you can provide. You can make the previous ship to be null. Why is that? Because you don't know at what point are the messages going to be done, read, right? So if we knew how many messages have been read after the thing, then it would be easy to turn the thing the ship to null, so that it can wait for another new ship, new date, new rightful data of ship to be created. So that's the issue I was facing even on the last practical. That's why they took so long to complete. Because I was confused there, but I ended up just saying I ended up just deciding to let it not no let I end up not deciding not to feel overthink of it a lot. So I settled for just making something that works at least, right? Because if I'm being honest, we can't solve all these scenarios that would have were to happen in this case. I wanna lie. But I feel like this should be enough for now to handle both the normal and the corrupt. The large file, however, I don't think it's possible. I don't want to lie to you guys. Having to having to make the this thing null, right? Just right after having read the messages is not easy at all. So for that scenario, it won't be easy to cater, but it's fine. So we have bigger things to deal with now. And then one will say, what are those? We're supposed to return an array of of ships, right? Okay, where does this need here? Supposed to return an array of ships, guys. So with that in mind, this is the other issue also. That means I'm gonna have to initialize an array, right? Maybe with a certain number of a certain array size. For example, something like this ship, and then I say ships, and then it's called so new ship, and then inside the parts, for example, 5, right? So obviously we're not sure all the files would be of size 5, right? You can say here initiating what? Initiating ships array, right? Of size 5. And then something along these lines, right? And then now with this being done, yes, we're gonna be adding, and then in a case where the ship gets full, what then? That's also another question. What then in a case where the ship gets to be full? So which brings me to the point of having to resize the ship. And how are we gonna do that? Just like the previous way, previous videos or previous practicals where we were doing the thing of having to do doubling array, right? Double the size of the array. We might be doing the same thing. But however, I think there's a shortcut to doing something like that, right? There is a shortcut. I think there's a thing of saying uh, if So I'm gonna put it in here specifically for a case where yeah. So I'm gonna say if, which one did I wanna say again? I mean, okay. So if ship's but length, right, is should I say equals to, or should I say it's less or equals to 5, then what do I want to do? This wouldn't work though. This wouldn't work because I want the, okay, let me just say here, let me just say int size is equals to 5, right? That way I can multiply this, because that's what I'm gonna need actually. And here I'm gonna say size, for example, and then here instead of since I'm gonna say size, right? If the length in here, wait, what am I doing again here? Wait. I'm losing my mind over here. I am losing my mind. Oh yes, because I'm supposed. Oh yes, there's something that I forgot to do. Yeah. Um. Yes, this is not easy. I'm supposed to take this ship instance over here and add it onto the ship, right? Without using an array list. Let's see. Although I think I'm gonna be required to use ships.add. There's no add in here. Like there is loan, there is and there is void, there is length. That's fine. So like, okay, this is not nice. Eh? How did I solve this on the last video, man? Because I'm supposed to add this to it. Or I just create I create an index here, for example. We have size, we have ish. Yeah, bear with me on this one when I try to see how I can get this to work without having to do a lot of work, right? And then here I can say if the ship length, if not the ship length actually. Let me say, okay, not this. Let me say if the index is ship length, right? Then you do the things. Otherwise, you get here and then you say ships, my bad, ships, come on now, ships at index, ships at index. It's equals to ship. This makes sense. And then what do I do? Index plus plus. C++ things, I don't think you should be confused when doing it. And then here I'm adding ship onto ship array, right? Because yeah, and then that should be that. And then here adding what? Adding messages, adding dictation first, adding message on to the current ship, right? This can come like, to be caring for people, and then we have this way here. So resizing the ship if it gets full, if it gets full, gets or gets, I don't know which one is the one there. Right, that's the idea. Okay, then increment. Here you are incrementing. Okay, you can also put this on the side, by the way. Incrementing, incrementing, incrementing what again? Incrementing the ship index, incrementing ship index. J. Right. So I hope you guys get the idea. And if I'm being honest, there's a shortcut of this thing. Like you don't necessarily have to do this one that I'm doing here. But then this one is for pros, right? Array and incrementing ship index. So you can literally just do that. There's nothing wrong with it. You won't be penalized or anything. It's coding. So basically it assigns the index first and then increments after. That's what it does. And then here, that's where the code for resizing have to go in, of which I forgot how it's done, funny enough. And then yes, hope you guys understand this thing. This is the size of this array, and this is the index for the thing to keep track of the index over here, like where we are storing the ship in. Yes, so if ship index is less or equals to ship length, what I want to do, I don't know if there's such a thing possible. So apparently I can do this. Ships equals to array dot. There is something. Oh, wait, what? Set short, set close, set double, object array index, and what is that? What does this do? Set the value of the index. Set the value of the index component. Wait, okay. Set the value of the index component of the specified array object with a specified new value. Oh, the new value is automatically handled if the array has a parameter. Is this the one I want? I'm not sure. Or is it the new instance? I think it's this one. New instance. Component dimension array of int. Dimensions of new array. I don't need a complex thing. I think I just need this. So create a new array with a specified component type and length. Working this method is equivalent to creating an array as follows. Index of length array into new length. The number of dimensions of the new array must not exceed 255. Anyway, component, the class object represents a component of type of the new array. Length, the length of the new array, return the new array. I really hope this works, eh? Let's go, let's see. New instance, and I'm saying I'm gonna pass ships, and then I'm gonna pass size multiplied by 2. That's something on this. Wait, what? Method instance in the table is not applicable, but okay. Change shapes to okay, you see now this is not good. It's the new instance. What is it? I forgot what that. Okay, it's clearly not these two because they accept and what is it? Generic whatever the question marks. Can be these two also. Set byte, set float, set long, set short. It's neither of these. Oh wait, is it system dot array copy? This one also is not clear. It's not nicer. I don't fully understand how this one works, but it's supposed to do the same thing also. I had supposed to do the same thing. The source argument in is like what? Source position. Wait, what is happening here? Parameters, the source array, right? And then the source starting position in the source array. Starting position in the source array from 0. Oh yes. The destination array, which is the new array. Starting position in the destination data. 0. And then the number of array elements to be copied. This also I don't fully understand it, this thing. Okay, basically let me just use it. So what's happening, this one requires you to make a new array, unfortunately. Being along the lines of this, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong? I think I forgot. Wait, where am I? Here. I think it has to be something like this. And then after you take is a shapes. Oh yes, by the way, this is a system thing, so it has the by reference things, and then you can say shift equals to new s for new ships. Let me just say, let me write it in full, it's fine. New ships. And then here, can you say this? Is it possible? Just say that and leave it as that. And then, or am I supposed to pass anything here? Now that I think about it. So here we're gonna have the source, the starting position of where I want to copy, and then the destination array, which is the new ships, right? And then, oh, okay, I think I get it now. Do I? I hope I do. So here is gonna be the new info ship. So what you're gonna be doing here is gonna say ships length multiplied by 2, right? And then here this thing says let's just see what it means again. Come on now. Why aren't you showing me what you are? Okay, so so the thing, the destination array, which is the new ships, and then the destination starting position in the the starting position in the, should it be size of, I think, right? So let's say it's okay, I think it makes sense now. And then what's this usually for? Come on now. And then what's this usually for? And then the length, the number of array elements to be copied. The number of array elements to be copied, which is shapes dot length, I think. I'm just hoping this works, I'm learning that part also, funny enough, as I'm busy still assisting you guys. This is why I hate having to do this by myself. It's a lot of work. But again, in the near future, you'll be using what is that? You'll be using array lists, so you won't have to worry about having to resize yourselves and all those things. So here, that's nothing much is needed in here, right? If you find a matching ship data, you just create a new instance of it, and then that's it. And then you wait for the messages to come over. Okay, nothing much. And then, okay, let me just remove that. So what you can do now is the regex thing here, data, right? How do we do that? There's a website where you can test it out by yourself, by the way. Regex. I've tried both this website, they work just fine. So this is how you do it, right? They say the ship data is ship ID and ship name, and then we know that the ship ID consists of SH. These are compulsory, right? And then the 4 additional digits. So it's gonna be something along these lines, right? Consists of SH. When something is as it is, like it won't change, don't do anything, you just write it as it is, right? And then after it consists of what else? The 4 digits. So it's gonna be slash backward slash d, right? And then a limit which is 4. This says to me that it's gonna be something along these lines. And then spacebar. Spacebar is either S or T, right? They both work, right? So I'm going for S for space in between. And then the name is the tricky one, right? But they don't necessarily tell us. They say, what do they say about the name? The name can contain spaces, spaces, like they don't say spaces. So it can be space X, like something along those lines, right? So this is the tricky part. But what you can do, right? What you can do is this. After space, we're gonna expect a weight. That's a given, right? We don't care how our weight is. And just to make it even more interesting, because what the weight that this means also it caters. You see, oh, this is good. It caters for digits. For you to make it only cater for character related things, you can do this. Uh, you can do this something along the lines of, and then you say A to Z, right? And then, or I think, do you need a comma? Or A to capital letter Z, right? So it matches a single character in the range between index 97, which is A, and Z in this case sensitive. Wait, why? Oh, this one matches. Okay, this comma here, I don't think it's answer. How do we do that again? Do I need to separate or by a comma, and I just put them together? Oh, I just put them together. Okay, I don't say comma here. I just put them together. Right. So this, okay, that should be okay. I don't think get my point, right? But then the thing about the names of these spaceships is that they can also include numbers at some point, right? Not the ID, but I don't know, like I don't know something. So I'm just gonna go with the weight one. And then for the part of consisting of spaces, you're gonna do something like this, right? You're gonna do something like this. How many weights? 2, 1, plus, right? What does this tell? Oh, I don't want to say. What does this say? This tells me that I'm expecting a one weight or even more after this thing, right? So it caters for that case. So let me just copy this thing for you so you guys can see an example. Oh, damn. Okay, but then that's okay, let me just test this out. This one over here. And then let's paste it here, and then you'll see that it does. Okay, it didn't here. It only ends here, right? For some reason, which is not good. Are you supposed to say plus? No, are you supposed to say plus? Why are you supposed to say one word or something? Because I get this again means a single word character. Sharp. Oh, a single word character. This is interesting, eh? Oh my gosh. I think I know what's the issue. I think with character. As much as I'm saying it might be more than this, but there can still be a space bar here. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know how I can, I don't think this is, it consists of a word or it consists of a word, yes. Also, it consists of either, actually, I don't know if this is gonna make sense. Either this or it doesn't cut away. I thought this would make my life easy. Because doing this would say I either want a space or a character. Or well, that's how it's supposed to be. Oh, okay. I see now. So I don't need this. Oh, okay. Makes sense. So what basically I'm saying here is that I'm either expecting a spacebar or a word, right? And then either one of these, right? Either would be one times or more, right? Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense now. Let me test it with another sheet details like this one right here. Large as you can. Oh my god, what am I doing? Let's test out. Okay, it works. Okay. So you can see that, okay, the first two is SH, it's compulsory, will always be there, and then followed by the 4 digits, right? Backslash D, and then also the limit, which is 4, and then space bar in between, which is something like this. And then they say the names of the spaceships can have spaces in between, so it can be a longer name. So how do I cover that? I say, okay, I'm expecting either a weight or a space. Either way, these two won't be, it's either going to be one of them or even more. That's what the one comma means, right? One or more, I think. At least n times, or or at least n times, right? Yes, that's what I meant. So yeah, that is that. So I'm just gonna copy this and then come here onto coding. Let me just close this files actually. And then you're gonna go ahead and paste it into your thing, right? And then there you go. And then with your, yeah, this one's gonna be tricky-ish. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. However, with it, the message things, which are a lot, we have the MSG, which is constant, and the 6 digit, right? So you're just gonna swap around here and there. We have the MSG. Wait, why can't I highlight here? We have that, and then we have 6 digits, not 4, right? Obviously, this won't apply anymore because that's match. And then we have space bar as a given guarantee. Let me eliminate this part over here. We don't need that. We won't need that for sure. Maybe, hopefully. So okay, no, this is not good. So MSG followed by the 6 digit space bar, and then followed by what? The language of the transmitted, which is a word, right? A single word, not two words. Then that can be slash and then space bar, right? And then followed by the contents should only contain alphabet characters. This is also tricky. The text being transmitted should contain characters, right? Should contain alphabet characters on the alphabet only, right? This is important because alphabet, that means it can either be, what am I doing? It can either be A to Z or A to Z, right? That's fine. But trick about it, right? The text being transmitted. Like this text over here, okay, now I'm gonna have to open the text again just to see how long the text is. This, oh, okay. So it's not a okay, yo, I was thinking my life is hard. So it's not like necessarily a proper text. It's more like a coded message or something like that. Okay, now this is easy then. Okay. Then I don't have to, well, I'm already done actually with doing this over here. And then after that, I'm gonna have space. All right, let me just copy this so you guys can see edit one of this so you guys can see that I'm advancing. Oh, wait, I'm not apparently. We have the MSG. Wait, why am I not advancing? Is this thing working then? We have the MSG, have space, we have the word here, which should supposed to be this one. We have space, and then we have this. Can an English name? I mean, also this I can just put something like this instead of. I mean, this should also be a but for some reason it's not picking it up. Why is that? I wonder. Are these MSG? It's the same, and these. It's a single word, right? It consists of characters only. So it's supposed to be covered by this. And then space, that, and then ish. The hectic part is the one for the thingy, for the planet. So because I don't know what I should like one by one and you guys all of them one by one. Or is much to do, I wonder. But so far, I'm thinking what's in my head now is to have something like the length of this, where I'm gonna have Earth, either Earth slash Neptune, for example. So the bad thing about this, is that I'm gonna have to do this for both the source and the destination. Hence, I'm saying I wonder if there's a shortcut to doing this instead of having to write all of these things down. Mercury, Mars, Pluto, Jupiter, obviously the correct one, Saturn. How is it Saturn? Is it like this? Or is it the other one, Saturn? Yeah, I forgot. Let's see. Earth, Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, Neptune, Pluto. Okay. And the Uranus and Venus. Yeah. Okay, let me start with the Uranus. I hope that's the correct one. Uranus, and then also the what again? I think Saturn. That's literally Saturn. Shit, I'm not gonna lie. Saturn. So I don't know. It's Neptune, Mercury. That's the correct spelling, right? Okay. And then Mars, Pluto is there. Jupiter is it O or E? Okay. Then Venus and then Uranus. Okay, but again, for some reason, it's not picking it up, right? So let me wonder, like, okay, which one is this one now? Makes me wonder, guys. Why is no one picking it up though? Like, or is there something wrong here? My hands. Because I can't even continue if the registration not working. Okay, let's see. Okay, at this. So with that, still it's an issue. So it can pick up where it does. What does it have? I think I'm just learning something now here. A single word character. Wow. A single word character. Wow. I thought, why don't they just say a single character or a single alphabet character? Something along those lines. Wow. Okay, because now it makes sense, right? Okay, let me bring this back, right? Because now I know the issues that here I'm supposed to also include that there will be a lot more, right? One, well, it's rare for it to be one or more. Okay, wait, it's not making it. They didn't make that. Now, you see now, I'm catering for this part. So that means same applies for over here. Same applies for this one. So, yeah, see, things are not easy, guys. Now it is wow, unbelievable, unbelievable. And it refuses for this one. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, it did. Yes, yes, then caters for that, and then the same here. Yeah, I don't know if there's a shortcut for doing this, guys. So, unfortunately, that's what I have to deal with at the moment. So basically, this I'm fair on these lines, right? And it's long, as you guys can see, very long. I wanna. Will there be a shortcut if would would there be a shortcut? No, the spinning card. Okay, shortcut. If an embed a shortcut for my typing skills for the RegEx. If an enum was used for the planets. Yes, how you I know, man. Relating in general. I no, forget it. It's okay. Forget it. I mean, it kind of makes cool. I think it kind of makes it. Name that get names of type of planets. Ay, kosher. I mean, I'm sure there's like a shortcut for this also in Java, but foreign benefit maintainability, readability, and reduction. Well, the true. Let me say use Java then. Use Java and see what's gonna do. Uh, yeah. I've never knew none of this before. I've never. I don't wanna lie. You can do this. I didn't know you can do this. Map stream of planet values. Map enum names. Collect. It's okay. Let me just use the long process. Let me just use the long try, guys. It is what it is. And then you gotta go ahead and paste it here. It's gonna be long, so I don't know if you can break it into variable pieces at least, especially here. And then yeah, that'll be it. And then from there, I believe we should be done. So now it's just a matter of having to call this function in the main file and see how it performs. How do we do that? We're gonna need the how can I do this? Uh, so I can use a for each loop for this one. Actually, let's say strings names, file names, right? And then we have normal .txt, and then we have corrupt.txt, the last one which is large, the large file. Someone told me that a shortcut for having to just put this in quotation marks. Oh my gosh. Wait, it's not working. Wait, why is it not working again? How do you you see what does this no does this one does no. Wait guys, what's that shortcut? Is it alt? It's not alt, it's not shift, it's not control, because I've been trying control, or this is control shift, and then this it does this, which seems to work but not in the way that I want. And then yeah, I don't know, I don't know, it's fine. It disappointed me though. Large.txt, and then we have that, so I'm gonna say for each well, we don't have for each in here, but we have something along this line. And then I'm gonna say name for each name, file name for each name, right? Then I'm going to do the following inside. In a beautiful exchange. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to instantiate the file handler class, and then file calls to new file handler, right? And then with it, I should be able to say this. Okay, let me create a new ship equals to none. That should be an issue. You see now, why is there not come on now? So now I'm supposed to import this manually. Let's see, is there a shortcut? Ship. Oh wow, okay, my bad. Seems I have like it's wow. Modules. And then here the idea is I'm gonna say ship equals to, right, equals to 5. Wait, where is that one? Read file, and I pass the name, right? Couldn't off, couldn't off. Ooh, the return. Oh my word, okay. Oh, it seems I'm going to do this, right? And then while I'm in names, right? While I'm in here, I'm gonna also for each. I hope it makes sense. Each ship in ships. Wait, what? Don't say ships for here. Ships. So I can have ship. Well, ship. Ships. Hope this makes sense. So what do I want to do? I'm gonna say ship hot. I already added the messages. It's just a matter of printing the messages. This does. I'm hoping this does have the. It's a void, so okay, it does have the thing. And what I can do is that after each and everything, I system out nothing, right? Just to leave space in the middle. This should work. Let's try it out, good people. An error. Oh yeah, this is the use of parking. The use of okay, but I don't think this is a runtime error. So they say on which line. That's time to begin debugging now. Let's debug and see. My wait, okay. Cannot invoke object or because the return value of object file message so is null. Why is that? Why is that? Why is that? It doesn't complain about this. So it's complaining about the message token, which is this one over here. And where I'm literally saying wait, okay. Okay. Seems like using the thing is gonna be an issue. For now, just to see if the issue, let me remove this part over here, right, and see if the correct thing is an issue or what. It's not an issue. So even the normal ones and the correct ones are an issue. For some reason. And like I'm saying, the issue happens. 19 is here, fire reading on this part here where I'm saying cannot invoke object equals to message to line box because the return value of string is null. I wonder if this is because man, as in sometimes in life you just have to SMS just to see what they do. Oh, what did I do? What did I want to edit again? Oh, I wasn't wrong. It's fine. Because it is complaining about this part. So instead of having to do this, no, this shouldn't be an issue. What am I? Oh, this one. That's what I wanted to do actually. Okay, let me just do this. And actually, I wanna do this outside. Wait, what? Actually, I wanna do this is outside. Why outside, not here, but here. Get the thing. So if SMS, if SMS is not calls now. Don't you do add SMS in here? Just to see whether it's because I am like, and now I know that they go, okay, it's sort of, I don't know if it's working. Okay, issues with me forgetting that I'm having a wireless mic over here. I'm using a wireless mic, so it tends to disconnect at some point. I don't notice. So I've been trying to without even realizing that it might be disconnected. But basically, what I was saying is that that's it for this practical, right? So yeah, like let me just remove this part because it's not necessary. And here you see that I initialized file handler class, right? Creating initializer. So you create the object for it and then initialize the ship array. You do for each loop of the names over here, and then you call the read file method from the file class, and it returns an array of ships, and you assign to the ships variable that you made. Then after that, you go for each ship, and then what you do, if the ship is not null, then you print out messages from it, and then yeah, that's basically it, right? And then I was saying also that here in this case, nothing hectic happening here. I think it's just a matter of having to understand. Mind you, this came a bit later. Also, don't get confused. But by initializing your array, which will be used for later stage, your path of the file, using the file name you got from the parameter there, and then you do your pattern there, your ship pattern and your message pattern, and then you use automatic resource management for the try catch thing, for the exception handling of the file thing, and then after you initialize the ship, then for now, and then you scan your file, and then you read each and every file, and while you read each and every file you make with the patterns you made and see if it matches. And if it matches with the ship data, then you create an instead of a ship. That means this ship over here won't be null anymore if I have the data, and then which then allows you that the next data, which is the messages, if they are correct, then what you do, what do I do? What am I doing here? Message instance. Oh yes, create a message what am I doing here? Because this technically creates the message instance, so I'm not this supposed to come here. Doesn't want me to stay, right? Because in here I'm just doing anything, I'm editing more than anything, I'm editing and then resizing. So basically what I'm saying here is that if the FMS is not null and the ship is not null, right? What I want to do, I want to add the message to the ship, right? And then at the same time, I check if the length of the array is still safe to add more, or do I need to resize my array, right? This is how you do it. And then after you add the ship to the array of ships, right? And then you increment the index. That's basically about it, Hisham. Now you have your functions over here, helper functions per se, and then one for the ship, one for the messages. In the ship one we use split, and I have my reasons for that. If you were to use the range organizer like that, you'd have more code than what you have here. Because this is easy, right? Nothing complicated. And then for message function, we use string tokenizer, but because um, there's a lot of yeah, like we use string tokenizer. That's what we should to the most. And then if oh yeah, this condition, the source shouldn't be the same as the destination, because that doesn't make sense. You can't send something from where you're from. Anyway, no, you get my point. Create the new message and you return it. Otherwise, you return basically. So yeah, that's the end of this video, guys. Hopefully it was useful. I'm definitely gonna upload this one. I'm confident in it. Well, I'll also upload the version 1.1, version 1.1 and then just so you guys can compare and see which one is way better, and then which one do you understand the most. This one I struggled less, that's the thing. I struggled less than the version 1 video. So, but yeah, you guys think, otherwise, enjoy, guys, enjoy.